Throughout the media and by politicians, the biopharmaceutical industry is under attack about drug prices. We've heard that 8 out of 10 Americans believe that drug prices are too high. And this argument has a very human component, especially when we hear of people having great struggles because they can't afford their medication. Those cases do exist, and I deeply sympathize with those individuals struggling to make ends meet because they need access to life-saving medicines. But is there another side to the story? When we're talking about an industry that only accounts for about 10% of the total spending of healthcare, yet accounts for most of the innovation in medical life extension of humans, the positives really do outweigh the negatives. Let's take a look at 5 areas the industry benefits Americans. First, medicines transform the treatment of diseases and disorders. Consider hepatitis C, which is the leading cause of liver transplants and the reason liver cancer is on the rise. It is now curable in more than 90% of patients. In oncology, new therapies have contributed to a 23% decline in the cancer death rate since its peak in 1991. And from that same year to 2011, the death rate from heart disease has dropped 46%. This isn't from drug-coated stents, which don't reduce mortality. All of these improvements in disease mortality come directly from managing patients with biopharma advancements. Our medical future is even brighter today. There are more than 600 treatments in development for cardiovascular disorders, 1,800 for cancer, and 1,300 for neurological disorders. Medicines will continue to transform the treatment of diseases. Second, developing new treatments and cures is a vital but very risky business. On average, it takes more than 10 years and $2.6 billion to research and develop new medicine. To put that into perspective, it costs more to bring 2 new drugs to market now than it costs to build the 104-story Freedom Tower in New York City, which is the world's most expensive office tower. Imagine the painstaking process of developing medicines which fail in development much more frequently than they succeed. It took 123 failed attempts to gain approval for 4 new drugs for Alzheimer's. This business is risky, and risky ventures cost money. Next, medicines provide critical savings to the U.S. healthcare system according to the IMS Institute for Healthcare Administration. If medicines are properly used, it would save the healthcare system $213 billion annually. Medicines keep healthcare spending down because they reduce hospitalizations and serious outcomes. For example, if patients with congestive heart failure improve their adherence to those CHF medications, it will save $22 billion over a 10-year period. And according to the Alzheimer's Association, if our researchers develop just 1 new medicine that delays the onset of Alzheimer's disease by just 5 years, it will save the healthcare system $367 billion. Not only do medicines provide savings to our healthcare system, they also improve the quality of life and often extend lives. Fourth, medicines are not the main driver of premium increases. Medications only account for about 10% of all healthcare costs. It's true that 56% of premium increase is due to hospital and professional costs. Medicines are an easy political target because it's the portion of healthcare that patients see every day they take their medicine. Last, the biopharmaceutical sector is the single largest funder of business research and development in the U.S. What's unique about this industry is that no matter how important a biopharma product is, it has only a short life for which it can make a profit. And in that short time, companies have to recoup research and development costs, but are also fully responsible for educating and conducting ongoing clinical research. That's why this industry represents more R&D spend than any other U.S. industry. Almost 1 out of 5 revenue dollars is spent on R&D. And before you know it, the product becomes generic. And according to IMS Health, nearly 9 out of 10 prescriptions today are for generic products. So those incredible life-saving cardiovascular products developed in the 1990s that seemed ridiculously expensive at that time now save more lives and only cost a few dollars per prescription. This phenomenon forces biopharma manufacturers to continuously invent and discover new treatments to remain in business. There are patients out there who have gone bankrupt because they've needed life-saving drugs, and I feel for these individuals. Everyone should be able to access life-saving medications. And all ethical biopharma companies with whom I work offer patient access programs to help fill the gap for those needing help. So patients should ask their doctor to put them in touch with the manufacturer if they can't afford their medication. We all know that this business is highly complicated and risky, but the intentions are largely good, even though there are a few bad players who are purely motivated by money. But this is certainly not the norm. What I know is that my colleagues in this business are universally focused on making a difference in people's lives. Whether it's a researcher targeting a complex rare disease, a marketer developing a program that will bring healthcare professionals together for education, or a salesperson who's providing a forum for local practitioners. This is an industry of tremendous individuals who care about the patients they serve.